As US warships draw ever closer to Iran, Turkey is quietly preparing for the unthinkable scenario of Tehran's government collapsing and up to 1 million refugees heading toward its borders. Turkish authorities have drafted contingency plans to create a security buffer zone on the Iranian side of the frontier in the event that Tehran's government suddenly collapses. Reports indicate Ankara's primary goal is to prevent a huge wave of refugees from flooding into Turkey if US strikes on Iran trigger state failure and mass displacement. Senior Turkish officials have already briefed members of parliament in a closed-door session, outlining a series of worst-case scenarios involving Iran. One source said the government explicitly used the phrase buffer zone to describe a plan designed to keep any large migrant flows on Iran's side of the border. Another source reported that officials vowed to go beyond usual measures to block any new refugee exodus from reaching Turkish territory. Turkey has already heavily fortified its 560-kilometer border with Iran, building walls, watchtowers, defensive ditches, and deploying persistent drone surveillance. The Defense Ministry says the frontier now includes 380 kilometers of concrete walls and 203 electro-optical towers monitoring movements along the line. Officials reportedly told lawmakers that around 4,000 Iranians have been killed and some 20,000 wounded in recent protest crackdowns, underscoring how volatile Iran has become. The United States has deployed additional warplanes, air defense systems, and powerful warships across the Middle East and North Africa region. On January 26, the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln entered Middle East waters, marking a visible escalation of American military presence. Sources claim Washington is now weighing precision strikes aimed at high-value Iranian officials and strategic assets. Turkish policymakers fear that regime change in Iran could mirror the disasters seen after the 2003 Iraq War and the 2011 Syrian uprising. Those conflicts drove hundreds of thousands of refugees into Turkey, straining its economy, public services, and domestic politics for years. Earlier assessments warned that a full-scale war in Iran could send up to 1 million people fleeing toward Turkey's borders. Turkish officials have made clear that Ankara will no longer apply any open-door refugee policy for its neighbors in a new crisis. Iranians currently enter Turkey without a visa, but authorities have signaled that this policy could be suspended quickly in an emergency. On January